Alright, now that we're getting into the combative portions, now that we're thinking about striking, we need to think about generating power that we can actually put into our strikes. Our flashlights are force multipliers. However, if there's no force to multiply, this doesn't do us very much good at all. So, this is a drill that I call hip punching with retention elbows that allows us to train and be able to learn how to use our body mechanics to produce power. So, with our self-defense tool in hand, in our case our tactical flashlight, here's the drill. Your stance here is going to be feet shoulder width apart. You're going to get on your toes, just get your heels off the ground. They don't need to be high heeling over here. You just need to make sure you can move your feet like so. So, heels slightly off the ground. You're going to take your hands and put them together like so. My empty or live hand is going to go over my wrist here, and I'm going to bring both hands to my chest and squeeze against my chest here. I'll explain in a moment why we do this. Once we're here, we're going to do what I call hip punching. With whichever side I'm trying to generate power with, I'm aiming to move my hip first in order to generate power. So, I like to say, aim your butt cheek towards your target with whichever side you're striking with. So if I'm trying to strike from the right side, I'm going to turn my hip from the right and aim that my butt is facing my target. And if I'm going from the left, I'm going to turn my hips all the way over and aim my butt at the target. Now, again, this application here is simply a drill to be able to teach you to generate power. This does translate likewise into your stance here. We're going to exaggerate the motion so you have the mechanics down first. So, again, heels a little bit off the ground, on your toes. Bring your hands into your chest. Elbows are right here. I'm going to go starting with the right. So I'm turning, punching with the hip first, and letting my body follow. Left, right, left, right, left. If you're wondering what's going on here, Filipino martial arts, ogres, and onions share the same principle in common: many layers. What's going on here is I am showing you proper body mechanics to produce power. If we translate this hip motion here into our boxing stance, as I turn my hip, my shoulders are naturally moving forward. I'm then going to use that momentum and apply it to my strike, be it our forehand and backhand strikes, a straight punch, or turning with a hook, or turning for an uppercut. This hip motion engages the entire body so that is the full force of my body being applied and multiplied onto this weapon here. If you need an example of how this feels, stand against a wall, put your hand against a wall, and move just your arm to try to push against the wall. You'll feel a certain amount of force. Now, put your hand against the wall and don't move your hand. Move your hip. As you can see here, you're able to produce more power, and naturally the body mechanics will apply more force against the wall. And when you apply that with a strike, you're going to have a much stronger hit. Likewise, these retention elbows here. What we're practicing is the scenario if someone is trying to take away the weapon that we're using to defend ourselves. We're imagining someone's grabbing our wrist, so we're going to grab their hand in return. We're going to bring ourselves to our weapon here, and we're going to twist against their wrist. The entire force of my body against their hand here. This can translate into wrist locks, likewise into escapes, but most importantly, I'm making it a problem for them to try to take away my weapon. So, this is a technique called a G-wrap. Check it out through Funker Tactical. This is where I found the technique. Use this technique here to retain your weapon. All right? Likewise, your hip punching drill translates into your attacks here. Now that we know how to generate power, let's actually look at the attacks that we're going to be using to fend off the bad guys. Next video.